All right, I think we are live. I hope so. Brand new fiber optic, so we shouldn't have any problems. If we are live where you are, drop a comment. Let me know where you are from, and we will get rolling because we just had a brand new assault weapon ban. Actually, it's even worse than that. It's a ban on all gas operated semi automatic weapons that has been submitted in the House of Representatives by one of the gun control zealots, Lucy McBath. I see Patrick's in the house from Oregon. We got Wampus from Lexington, Kentucky. All right. Looks like we're live, so we're going to roll with this. Hello, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Another live. Thank you for joining me. Didn't know I was going live till I just saw that this was introduced. So, first off, let me start by saying what I'm about to read you might have heard if you were paying attention back in November, because the original version of this bill was submitted by Senator Martin Heinrich in November, and it went nowhere. Well, June is Gun Violence Prevention Month in the United States government. So Lucy McBath, who is a gun control zealot and backed by Everytown and Moms and everybody else, she 2 days ago, day and a half ago, submitted this bill in the House of Representatives, and it's called the GOSAFE Act. I'm going to show it to you, tell you what it bans, what it doesn't ban. We'll take a look at the actual bill text, and I want you to get involved. Like I said in this morning's video, get involved. Take a few minutes out of your life, get involved, and we'll be better off as a group. All right. Cool. Tony, thank you so much. Tony, keep up the good work. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. So I'm going to put up their fact sheet first, okay? So we can see in full force the stupidity of this. The GOSAFE Act. It's the Gas-Operated Semi-Automatic Firearms Exclusion, or GOSAFE Act. The GOSAFE Act was introduced by U.S. Senators Martin Heinrich, he's out of New Mexico, and Angus King from Maine, as well as Mark Kelly from Arizona, and Michael Bennett in Colorado. This was their original submission in November. It was just submitted a day and a half ago by Lucy McBath, which is why it's alive again. It's a pragmatic proposal designed to protect communities from gun violence while safeguarding Americans' constitutional right to own a firearm for legitimate self-defense, hunting, or sporting purposes. We're going to drill down into that because this is actually not true. It regulates the sale, transfer, and manufacture of semi-automatic firearms, as well as the possession. They like to leave that off. The GOSAFE Act regulates firearms based on the inherently dangerous and unusual lethality of their internal mechanisms, as opposed to focusing on cosmetic features that manufacturers can easily modify. Firearms have had the same internals for a very, 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 very long time, and now they're saying that those internal mechanisms are lethal, and thus we must ban the guns. If enacted, the bill would regulate the sale, transfer, and manufacture and possession of gas-operated semi-automatic weapons by establishing a list of prohibited firearms, preventing unlawful modifications of permissible firearms, mandating that future gas-operated designs are approved before manufacture, meaning you have to beg the ATF for forgiveness. Thank you, 2A boys. Appreciate y'all. I haven't seen you in a bit. Hopefully I'll see you up at GunCon. And if you guys aren't familiar with the 2A boys, check them out. Those dudes are doing awesome. God bless y'all. Hope you all as well. So yeah, beg the government to be able to manufacture guns, and then preventing unlawful firearm self-assembly and manufacturing. That's you in your home. Yeah, okay. Good luck with that. It also would protect Americans' Second Amendment right. Well, let's drill down into that. The GOSAFE Act protects Americans' constitutional right to own a gun based on the firearms established use for self-defense, hunting, or sporting purposes. The GOSAFE Act accomplishes this by including exemptions based on maximum ammunition capacity according to a firearm's individual class, whether it's a rifle, shotgun, or handgun. So they're not all going to be created or treated equal if this is to pass. This capacity must be permanently fixed, meaning the firearm cannot accept a detachable, high-capacity magazine that would increase the number of rounds that can be fired before reloading and make reloading easier. Troy Rupp, thank you very much. I appreciate you. You guys and gals are awesome. Exemptions, of course, they're going to exempt 22 rimfire or smaller bolt action rifles. So they don't want to, the hunting gun. You can't take away hunting. The semi-automatic shotguns, recoil operated handguns, any rifle with a permanently fixed magazine of 10 rounds or less, any shotgun with a permanently fixed magazine of 10 rounds or less, and any handgun with a permanently fixed magazine of 15 rounds or less. However, I want to show you something because they're blowing smoke up people's keisters with this. Because if this will work, I got to probably do it on this side. If I highlight this, there we go. The high capacity magazine, right? It cannot accept a detachable high capacity magazine. In the bill, the actual verbiage of the bill that I'll show you, the definition of high capacity magazine is anything over 10 rounds. So if your gun can take over 10 rounds, it won't work with this bill. Hey, brother, thank you very much. Clayton, you're awesome. Appreciate you. It was fun to train with you guys at Train and Learn. If you all haven't gone to Train and Learn ever, make sure you go next year. It was very, very cool. So let's check out the final section here on this fact sheet, and then we'll dive into the real stuff. Because if you don't read the bill, you might believe this. But we do more than that here. Limits high-capacity ammunition devices and outlaws conversion devices. Well, let's see what that says, what they say about this. The GOSAFE Act limits the firearm's ability to inflict maximum harm in a short amount of time by directly regulating large-capacity ammunition feeding devices. The bill would limit the number of rounds that a large-capacity ammunition feeding device are permitted to carry to 10 rounds of ammunition or fewer. It just said 15 rounds in a handgun. They must be bullshitting you. Additionally, the GOSAFE Act makes conversion devices, including bump stocks and Glock switches, unlawful. Well, they already are Glock switches because that's a machine gun, right? And bump stocks, they're still in litigation with all that, thanks to the ATF changing definitions. Both of those are on the naughty list right now if you are in the 2A world. Flyboy, thank you very much, man. Appreciate you. Frag out, how we doing, bud? Yeah, they don't care. Yeah, we don't care either, but I need people to be in the loop with all this stuff. Improves public safety response and protects law enforcement. The GOSAFE Act will force would-be mass shooters to reload their guns more frequently because criminals follow laws. Actually, they don't. It's in the definition of criminal. Giving people time to flee and law enforcement time to arrive on the scene and maybe wait for however many minutes they waited in Uvalde. While also maintaining law enforcement access to regulated firearms, so law enforcement continues to have the tools they need to respond to a mass shooting event. Now, of course, if this is passed into law, drop it like Scott. How we doing, buddy? Good to see you. Appreciate you, bud. So if this were to go through, naturally, every criminal will turn in their guns and everybody will turn in all of their standard capacity magazines, right? There would be a big GOSAFE vacuum. The GOSAFE suck would suck up all these things immediately, thus rendering criminals unable to do criminal things, right? Okay. Yeah, great. Creates a voluntary buyback program. You can't buy back something you didn't sell or own in the first place, but let's see what they say. The GOSAFE Act will prevent stockpiling of these lethal firearms and large capacity magazines, and also ensure no one loses the value of any firearms they currently have by establishing a voluntary buyback program, which would allow firearm owners to voluntarily turn over and receive compensation for non-transferable firearms and magazines as defined by this legislation. Kyle, you ain't lying. Unconstitutional. Lucy McBath and Martin Heinrich, come and take them if you have the balls. Stack up. So, voluntary buyback. Next, says the guns, of course, the GOSAFE Act is endorsed by Everytown for Gun Safety, Giffords, Brady, United Against Gun Violence, March 4th, March for Our Lives, New Mexicans to Prevent Gun Violence, Harold Medina, Chief of Police of Albuquerque, New Mexico, Kim Stewart, the sheriff of Doña Ana County Sheriff's Department, Eliza Bequeria, the superintendent of Lake Arthur Schools, New Mexico Coalition Against Domestic Violence, the Rio Grande Alcohol Treatment Program, New Mexico Voices for Children, Patrick Nolan, school board member, Las Cruces Public Schools, and Taos Alive. Well, all those groups can kiss our ass because the Constitution says that the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And private citizens, no matter what they have after the comma after their name, don't overrule the Constitution. And we are not going to comply anymore with any of this bullshit. Mike, thank you. Do you think this bill actually has a chance? Let's pause that for a second. Thank you for all you do for the second. Thank you very much. Does it have a chance? We'll discuss. Because I didn't think the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act had a chance either. I don't think so in the House. If this goes to the Senate, it'll pass the Senate. And stumbling, bumbling Joe will sign this. But the question is how many people are going to light up the phones and pester their representatives to make sure they vote down that line? Because I just did a video today to show you that there were people 193 of them, that voted to disarm veterans. And you would think nobody would do that. So, the union is not safe anymore. The union is not safe. Let me switch this view. Stop that screen and switch it to this one. Okay. So now we saw what they want you to believe. Let's dig into what the bill actually says. Okay. You can see that it's cited as the Gas-Operated Semi-Automatic Firearms Exclusion Act, or the GOSAFE Act. Let me get where's my cursor? All right, here it is. So the first is some definitions. And these are the things that they're going to, hopefully ban under this act if they get their way. They're not going to, but the term semi-automatic firearm means a firearm that, upon initiating firing sequence, fires the first chambered cartridge and uses a portion of that energy of the firing cartridge to extract, chamber the next round, and prepare the firing mechanism again. Requires a separate pull, release, push, or initiation of the trigger for each cartridge. It is not a machine gun. And then these are some other terms that they are going to lump in here. Cycle the action. The term gas-operated means the following: anything with a long stroke piston, a short stroke piston, a system that traps and vents gas either in the barrel or chamber, directly strike and pinch the bolt carry, blah, 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 blah. Hybrid system, a blowback operated system, a recoil operated system. And that's every gun out there other than single shots and muzzle loaders and stuff like that, right? The term large capacity ammunition feeding device, like I said earlier, means overall capacity of more than 10 rounds of ammunition. So, and it's not permanently affixed. So unless you have guns with permanently affixed 10-round mags that can't be, bullet buttoned off, it's going to be in this group. I want people to understand what they're trying. This is an election year. Lucy McBath, she's playing to her base, right? It's Gun Violence Prevention Month. She's one of their champions. So she's going to try to do whatever she can do so she can just wallow and cry and, look what I did. I tried. She's doing it to placate to her people. She wants some money donations. These people, every town and everybody I read in the people who support this, they put a lot of money in her pocket to do this stuff. So here it is. Again, are you going to pester your politicians? 202-224-3121. That's the number to reach out to Congress. 202-224-3121. That's the switchboard. Say, I would like to speak with Lucy McBath's office, please. Hold on. They'll patch you through. And you'll talk to an aide, and that's where you can say what you need to say. I don't care. Seriously, I don't care. I can't tell you how much I don't care if your representative is an anti-gun hack. I don't care. Pester them anyway. Be a pain in their hide, just like they're the pain in our hide every day. So other things that they're going to ban, we'll rip through this here. So the firearm, you can't have the gun if it's included in the list. That's everything we just said. The modified non-prohibited firearm as modified operates as one of the banned items. A combination of parts that's designed to function when they're assembled is one of these things. So parts will be illegal too. The combination of parts designed to be assembled into a firearm that operates is one of the ones we just said. Combination of parts would function as a gas-operated semi-automatic cycling. Boom, boom, boom. The manual, power-driven, or electronic device is primarily designed or redesigned so that the device is attached to a semi-automatic firearm. So they're covering anything that you could possibly build. Semi-automatic firearm has been unmodified in a way that materially increases the rate of fire or approximates the action or rate of fire. So if you have anything that would have a better trigger, in theory, a smoother trigger or single stage, then that would be illegal as well. Now, of course, paragraph 1, these are the things it won't apply to. The importation or manufacture by or for sale or transfer to or possession by or under the authority of the United States or any department or agency thereof, or state or tribe or department, agency, or political subdivision thereof. So the people can't have it, but the powers that be can. Why would they do that? Why would they want to disarm veterans? Why would they want to disarm the populace as a whole? You have to wonder, especially with November coming up. The importation or manufacture for sale or transfer to any of the Atomic Energy Act, so that's your nuclear facilities and stuff like that. Possession of a gas-operated semi-automatic firearm that before the date of enactment of the subdivision was lawfully manufactured and transfer party. The transfer of so this is your grandfather clause, I guess. Transfer of a gas-operated semi-automatic firearm that is lawfully possessed before the date of enactment of this subsection in accordance with subparagraph C, in which 1, the transferee is the immediate family member of the transferor. 2, the transfer occurs after a licensed importer, manufacturer, or dealer has first taken possession, meaning you got it from an FFL or family member. 3, upon taking possession of the firearm under clause 2, the licensee, go back to it, to whom the firearm was transferred under clause 2 complies with all the requirements of this chapter as if the licensee were transferring the firearm from the business inventory of the licensee to the unlicensed transferee. Flyboy, thank you. This is the first time I've done a super chat. I think I got to figure it out now. Well, I thank you very much as the first recipient. Thank you, man. That's it's an honor, and I'm very grateful. Thank you. All right, so you understand what they're getting at, right? For the purposes, look at number 4 here. Purpose of the subsection, the term gas-operated semi-automatic firearm does not include any firearm designed to accept and capable of operating only with .22 caliber rimfire ammunition. 2, a rifle that 1 is a single-shot rifle, or 2 is a breech-loading rifle with a capacity not to exceed 2 rounds of ammunition, or 3 is a muzzle-loading rifle or smoothbore shoulder-fired firearm. 4 uses a bolt action, lever action, or pump action to cycle the action of the rifle, or 5 has a permanently fixed magazine with a capacity not to exceed 10 rounds of ammunition that cannot be converted or changed to accept more than 10 rounds of ammunition. Well, didn't they say 15 rounds earlier in the beginning of the fact sheet? They don't say that in the bill, does it? So the fact sheet's bullshit. But people will go off the fact sheet and say, look, we're not taking your guns in 15 rounds. If you need more than 15, you're a hell of a deer hunter. So a shotgun, now we'll talk about shotguns, that 1 is a single shot shotgun, 2 is breech loading without capacity more than 2 rounds, 3 muzzle loading shotgun, 4 a bolt action, lever action, or pump action shotty, 5 semi-automatic or auto loading shotgun, or 6 permanently fixed magazine with a capacity not to exceed 10 rounds of ammunition that cannot be converted or changed to accept more than 10 rounds of ammunition. So I think Jerry Mitchell's shotguns are okay, and Lena's. 4, a breech loading firearm capable of holding a single cartridge and a single shotgun shell simultaneously and must be reloaded after firing those rounds of ammunition. Or 5, handgun, that 1 is a single shot handgun. 2 is a breech loading handgun with a capacity not to exceed 2 rounds of ammunition. 3 is a muzzle-loading or smoothbore handgun. 4 uses a bolt action to cycle the action of the handgun. 5 is a single or double action revolver. 6 is a single or double action semi-automatic handgun that uses recoil to cycle the action of the handgun. 7 has a permanently fixed magazine with a capacity not to exceed 15 rounds of ammunition that cannot be converted or changed to accept more than 15 rounds of ammunition. Permanently fixed magazine handguns and permanently fixed magazine cylinder revolvers. The term immediate family member, spouse, parent, blah, 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 blah. Let me see here. All right, let's look at W. Right, Chia. Except as provided in paragraph 3, it shall be unlawful on and after the date of enactment of this subsection for any person to, in affecting interstate or foreign commerce, A, import, sell, manufacture, transfer, or receive a large capacity ammunition feeding device. Remember, that's anything more than 10 rounds. Or B, possess a large capacity ammunition feeding device manufactured after the date of enactment of this subsection. How would you know? They don't serialize. They don't put dates of manufacture. How would they know? Nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know. 2, shall be unlawful for any person who lawfully owns or possesses large capacity ammunition feeding devices, a device that was manufactured and purchased or transferred before such date, to transfer in or affecting interstate foreign commerce such device after the date. You can't give it to anybody. You can't sell it. You can't hand it off to somebody at a range. Those are all transfers. This subsection shall not apply to the importation manufacturer for the U.S. So military can have it, cops can have it, tribal police can have it, and the atomic energy people can have it. A licensed importer. All right, let's read that part. Licensed importer, licensed manufacturer, or other person in possession of large capacity ammunition feeding devices. Well, they're going to have to start serializing them. Such mark shall mark such large capacity ammunition feeding device imported or manufactured under this with the blah, 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 blah. So it must be marked with a serial number, and you cannot obliterate that serial number on the magazine. Here's another thing, too, we want to pay attention to. The use of the burn grants for buyback programs for gas operated. So they're going to use grant money that's already existing. This is a bribe for states to do their own buybacks. The burn grants were also being used to bribe states into adopting red flag laws under the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. So there's that. Some penalties. Whoever violates any of this shall be fined not more than $5,000 or imprisoned for not more than 12 months, or both for each offense. Whoever, while in possession of a gas-operated semi-automatic firearm in violation of 922V, commits or attempts to commit any other federal offense punishable by imprisonment of more than of a term exceeding a year, that means a felony, shall, in addition to the punishment provided for such offense, be fined not more than $250,000, imprisoned for a term of not less than 2 years, and not more than 10 years, or both. Prohibited firearm determinations, ATF, they're going to take your stuff. ATF will also determine what guns are part of this, what ones aren't, and we know how black and white they are. Everything they do is vague, which is why they're getting sued left and right. That's pretty much the bill. It says this is what, if you want your gun to be approved, you got to put it in and get it approved and give them a sample and all that other crap. Trust fund guns. If you really want, if you want to know firearms trust guns, they're in here. Just BS, and this is the final page. So that's that. Now, if I can find my damn. Okay. So, the GOSAFE Act. It was submitted a day and a half ago by Lucy McBath in the House of Representatives. It previously was submitted in the United States Senate by Martin Heinrich, and it died there because all bills die at the end of the current session of Congress, and we had a new session in January. And let me show you what McBath has said about this, because I think it's kind of comical to to hear the whining too. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. You can see June 3rd. As part of the Gun Violence Awareness Month, Representative Lucy McBath from Georgia today introduced H.R. 8600, the Gas-Operated Semi-Automatic Firearms Exclusion, or the GOSAFE Act, a common-sense proposal designed to protect communities from gun violence while safeguarding Americans' constitutional right to own a firearm for legitimate self-defense. Legitimate self-defense, huh? And who decides that? Lucy McBath? No. Judge and the jury of your peers, but whatever. Legitimate self-defense, hunting, sporting purposes. Companion bill is led in the Senate by Senators Martin Heinrich, Angus King, Mark Kelly, and Michael Bennett. That's hasn't moved. Maybe he'll be reintroducing that as well, or bringing it back to life. Now, here's what she says. Since the death of my son Jordan almost 12 years ago, I have dedicated my life to preventing more families from feeling the pain of losing a loved one to gun violence. The GOSAFE Act honors our constitutional rights while keeping dangerous weapons out of the hands of those who should not have them. No, it doesn't. I thank Senator Heinrich and our partners for their support in bringing about this common sense piece of legislation. The American people deserve to live free. Yeah, so leave us the frick alone. We deserve healthy lives, safe from the horror of gun violence. This is an important step to making that a reality. Well, if more people were carrying in self-defense and could stop these maniacs, that would be cool, because that would make, those risks go down some. And then Lucy McBath's counterpart, Heinrich, like I said earlier, in the Senate. I'm thrilled that my GOSAFE Act has been introduced in the House by Congresswoman Lucy McBath, a fierce advocate and leader in the fight to tackle gun violence. I firmly believe we must uphold the laws that protect safe and responsible gun ownership. This legislation accomplishes that while preventing firearms that are inherently dangerous and unusually lethal, designed for maximum harm from falling into the hands of individuals who pose a threat to themselves or others by equipping law enforcement with the necessary tools and time needed to keep our communities safe. GOSAFE will save lives. Dun, dun, dun. Actually, I just looked on my screen here. His bill's still alive. I had a year screwed up. My bad. I thought it was 22 that he submitted. It was 23. And of course, John Feinblatt from Every Town for Gun Safety, he's going to get his chance for a little FaceTime. As weapons of war have become commonplace in America. Have they, though? No. Nobody goes to war with an AR-15. So has the unfathomable carnage they wreak on our communities. We applaud Representative McBath for introducing innovative legislation that would regulate assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, which are capable of creating devastating destruction in an instant. We urge Representative McBath's colleagues to pass this bill before yet another community is forever scarred by someone filled with hate and armed with an AR-15. Dun, dun, dun. So that is that. Let's there we go. So wanted y'all to be on the up and up and be aware of this. Heartland Hawk, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Appreciate all of you for watching. We're at 3,000 viewers live. If you could do so, I put out a post, Mike. You, thank you very much. Keep calling them. Call them every single day. I put out a thing on my socials to tell folks that YouTube is changing their firearms policies. That's really not going to affect my channel because I don't do the gun reviews anymore. In fact, I deleted there was like close to 400 videos that I've deleted the last time they came after the gun channels. And what is important is you do a couple of things. The net is being cast on the gun community. We've all seen views impacted as the election gets closer. And if you follow channels, myself, any other channel you watch, go directly to those channels looking for content in the immediate here. What do I mean? Like, don't wait for something to show up in your recommended. Like, if you're like, hey, let's see what Guns and Gadgets puts out for today, like, go type in my channel and go to it. If you watch Mr. Guns and Gear, type in Mr. Guns and Gear, go to his channel and see what he released. Because a lot of the channels in our community, all the channels in our community are being impacted right now. And in 2 weeks, when this new thing goes into effect, it's going to be even harder for those channels that are, the gun channels that are doing the shooting and reviews. Okay. So do that. And double check your subscriptions on all of them. So when you're supporting these channels, it goes a long way. So like their videos, share them, and subscribe to those channels. I am that close to my goal of 700,000 for my birthday, which is July 25th. So if you here and you're one of the 40% that haven't subscribed, please, give it a concern, give it a thought, because it does help the channel's news get out, and I appreciate that. So just be aware of that. Now I'm going to ask you again to pester the hell out of these representatives, out of those senators. 202-224-3121. Again, that's the switchboard for Congress, for the U.S. Capitol. 202-224-3121. You ask for your rep. If you don't know who your rep is, say, I would like to speak to my representative. I live in Maryland. All right. And they'll ask you if it's a House of Representatives folk, they'll say, where do you live? So they can punch your address in and see what congressional district you're in, and they'll zip you to that Congress member. If you don't know who your two senators are, just say, hey, I would like to speak to the U.S. Senator from Maryland, and they'll patch you through. So be a pain in their ass. The Republic, guys and gals, we are the keepers of the Republic. And our founders didn't create the Republic by doing only what was, I guess, comfortable and easy, right? We're all going to have to get uncomfortable. We're all going to have to do things that make us uneasy. So talking to representatives can make people uncomfortable and uneasy. But let them hear you. Let them hear you. Don't care who they are. If it's Nancy Pelosi, call her. Call that old battle wagon. Call her repeatedly. Please. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys and gals out there. Thank you for your support. You guys and gals are the reason I keep digging for news. And, this year I'm doing something that's uncomfortable for me too. I'm getting more involved in politics. I'm going to be part of the press at the Republican National Convention, which is way outside of my comfort zone, but I'm going there to ask the tough questions of people who want Americans to vote for them. So Danny, wow. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Wow. I really appreciate you. VA Wolfman, it's always good to see you. Thank you. But yeah, I'm joining that crew too. And there's more stuff I have planned for this channel to get more information to you about who is actually doing the work to help us in the political field, because there's not many of us, not many of them that are doing the right thing. And some of them are looking to be replaced by candidates for every time for gun safety, or candidates who are now in the limelight, but in their previous years have gone against the Constitution or have litigated, gone against gun owners. So we're going to be bringing that out to light as we get closer between now and November. So I hope that you are open to that information, and I hope you share that information. Appreciate y'all, guys and gals. Seriously, have a great, phenomenal night. Never forget who your loved ones are, and always tell them you love them. I'll see you on the next one. Y'all have a great night. Take care. Thanks for joining the stream. I appreciate you.